Security checkpoints were built to keep threats out, but what they often uncover is something far stranger. From ridiculous objects to illegal stashes, passengers occasionally carry items that will leave you stunned. And in this video, you'll see exactly that. So, are you ready to witness the 15 strange and bizarre things airport security actually found? Well, let's get right into it, starting with Number 15. Wild insect smuggling. Wild insect smuggling shocked authorities back in 2024 at Jorge Chavez International Airport in Lima, when officers intercepted a man attempting to transport 320 tarantulas, 110 centipedes, and 9 bullet ants strapped under his clothing. The insects, many of them venomous, had been individually taped to the man's body to avoid scanner detection. The sheer number and danger of the creatures stunned airport staff, just like how we are now. These types of animals are commonly trafficked for the exotic pet market or underground medicine trade. Smuggling them poses big threats to both human safety and the environment. Peruvian customs officials seized the live insects and detained the man. Smuggling venomous species is illegal, highly dangerous, and represents a growing challenge for airport authorities. This case demonstrated just how far some individuals will go to move rare wildlife across borders. But anyway, this guy is brave. Number 14. Bird smuggling in pants. Here's another case of animal torture. Back in 2009, Australian customs officials intercepted a man at Melbourne Airport who was trying to smuggle live pigeons in his pants. The passenger had just arrived from Dubai when officers noticed something strange about his movements. After a full search, they found the 2 pigeons wrapped in padded envelopes and strapped to each of his legs with a pair of tights. Transporting live animals without proper permits is not just illegal, but it crosses every limit of inhumanity. Also, invasive species, parasites, or diseases can be introduced through such acts. The man was immediately detained, and the birds were taken into quarantine. The story made international headlines, not just because of the strange method, but because of the larger issue of wildlife trafficking through airports. Customs officers across the globe face bizarre attempts like these constantly. While stuffing pigeons into your pants may sound ridiculous, it reflects the desperate and careless lengths smugglers go to avoid detection. Number 13. Fentanyl candy boxes. Back in October 2022, airport security at Los Angeles International Airport seized several candy boxes containing thousands of fentanyl pills, each box disguised to look like harmless sweets. What appeared to be ordinary packages of candy were actually filled with one of the deadliest synthetic opioids in existence. Fentanyl, lethal in tiny quantities, has become a primary driver of overdose deaths across the U.S. Smugglers had packaged the pills to look like colorful treats, hoping to sneak them through inspections unnoticed. But alert customs officials identified the deception during routine screening and seized the narcotics. Hiding fentanyl inside candy boxes isn't just deceptive, it's extremely dangerous, particularly if the boxes fall into the wrong hands. This disturbing incident highlights the evolving methods traffickers use to smuggle drugs into the country and the growing need for advanced detection tools and well-trained staff. Fentanyl's potency makes it uniquely lethal, and disguising it this way could have ended in tragedy. Number 12. Turtle in his pants. In a bizarre twist at Newark Liberty International Airport in New Jersey, in March 2025, TSA agents uncovered an unexpected smuggler, a live turtle hidden in a man's pants. This Pennsylvania guy had tried to sneak the animal past security by slipping it beneath his clothing. During a standard screening, TSA officers noticed something suspicious in his behavior and belongings. A closer inspection revealed the startled turtle wedged in an awkward spot. It was a bold, ridiculous attempt to dodge animal transport regulations. Smuggling live creatures through airports isn't just quirky. It's a serious breach of security policy. The turtle was seized, and the man faced legal consequences for trying to game the system. Even Thomas Carter, who is the TSA Federal Security Director, said, "We have seen travelers try to conceal knives and other weapons on their person, in their shoes, and in their luggage. However, I believe this is the first time we have seen someone who was concealing a turtle down the front of his pants." And we too. Number 11. Fake belly, real drugs. Well, now this case is on an extreme level. In Argentina, officers busted a woman attempting to smuggle 9 pounds of marijuana using a fake baby bump made entirely of paste. She wasn't at an airport. She was near the Chilean border, traveling with a group when law enforcement stopped them. A routine inspection of a male companion revealed marijuana bricks hidden in his bag. That's when officers turned their attention to the woman. Her pregnant belly looked off. A closer look confirmed it wasn't flesh and blood. It was a hollow prosthetic filled with 15 neatly packed bricks of weed. Authorities dubbed it a narco-pregnancy, one of the more unusual drug smuggling disguises they've seen. While traffickers have used bodysuits and fake limbs before, this stunt crossed into absurd territory. Officers arrested both individuals on the spot. Smugglers keep trying new tricks, but Border Patrol has seen it all. No matter how emotional or innocent a disguise might seem, drug enforcement isn't fooled by paste and drama. Number 10. Drugs hidden under wig. In a wild twist straight out of a crime series, 2 Colombian women were arrested at Panama's Tocumen International Airport for smuggling cocaine under their wigs. The first woman raised eyebrows simply because of her hairstyle. When authorities ran her through a scanner, they found 68 tiny drug packets taped tightly between her braids and the wig. Hours later, another woman, also traveling to Spain, was caught with 57 similar packages hidden under her hairpiece. Both had flown in from Colombia, the world's largest producer of cocaine, using Panama as a key transit point. Officials believe they were headed for Madrid, one of Europe's major drug entry hubs. Smugglers have used wigs, weaves, and even braids before, but this stunt stood out for its boldness. While hair-based concealments can be tricky to spot, trained officers clocked the tiniest red flags. The drugs were seized, both women were charged, and the case now stands as yet another example of how creative, yet desperate, smuggling has become. Number 9. Roasted pig's head. At Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers made a super unusual find, a fully roasted pig's head hidden in a passenger's luggage. The detection came thanks to a trained CBP beagle who alerted officers to the scent. The roasted pig's head had been packed carefully, possibly brought as a cultural food item or gift. However, carrying certain meat products through international airports is tightly regulated to prevent the spread of disease and protect domestic agriculture. Pork products, especially from overseas, can pose risks like foot and mouth disease or swine fever. The traveler was questioned, and the pig's head was confiscated on the spot. While not a criminal offense, it's a clear violation of agricultural import rules. The incident quickly caught attention for both its oddity and its implications. CBP officers often deal with strange items, but every discovery plays a role in preserving national food safety. Even cooked meat can trigger serious concerns at customs. Number 8. Knife inside a laptop. Well, that's what TSA officers found at Richmond International Airport in 2023 during a routine bag scan. A Virginia man had hollowed out part of his laptop's interior to create a hiding space for a folding knife, hoping it would pass through unnoticed. Unfortunately for him, TSA agents are trained to detect even the most subtle anomalies inside electronic devices. When something seemed off during the X-ray screening, they took a second look and discovered the blade wedged inside the machine. Bringing sharp weapons in carry-on baggage is strictly against TSA regulations. Attempting to smuggle one on board poses obvious safety risks and results in immediate intervention. The man was detained, and the weapon was confiscated. This incident underscored the importance of thorough security checks and trained personnel who can spot concealed threats, even when they're hidden inside something as simple as a laptop or PS2. Number 7. Baby shark in a jar. At Syracuse Hancock International Airport in 2020, TSA officers uncovered one of the strangest confiscations to date: a baby shark preserved in a jar of liquid, sealed tight and tucked inside a traveler's carry-on. The bizarre find quickly gained attention and landed on the TSA's annual list of most unusual items. The dead shark, floating in a glass container, was flagged during a security scan and promptly pulled for further examination. While no threat was posed, the item violated TSA's rules around transporting biological specimens and liquid volumes. Preserved animals are subject to strict transport regulations and require permits if they're to be moved across borders. The traveler lacked the required documentation, and the jar was immediately seized. This peculiar incident highlighted the odd things passengers sometimes try to carry on board, and the importance of checking what's actually allowed. TSA officials deal with bizarre discoveries often, but a preserved shark in a jar remains one of the most memorable. Number 6. Bag of dead birds. In February 2020, U.S. border officials intercepted a traveler arriving from China carrying a plastic bag filled with dead birds. The seizure took place at a U.S. port of entry, triggering immediate concerns about biosecurity and smuggling. The birds, packed without proper documentation, raised red flags regarding wildlife trafficking and potential disease transmission. Importing animal products, especially dead birds, requires permits and adherence to strict inspection protocols. Authorities suspected the birds were intended for personal use or unregulated trade. Regardless of intent, the transport violated U.S. laws aimed at protecting native species and ecosystems. Customs officers confiscated the birds and questioned the individual. The case underscored the continuing efforts by border security to crack down on illegal wildlife transport. Transporting animal carcasses without authorization poses real risks, from spreading avian flu to disrupting fragile environmental balances. This was not an isolated incident, but part of a broader pattern in the ongoing fight against wildlife-related smuggling. Number 5. Toupee drug smuggling. At Cartagena's Rafael Núñez International Airport, police intercepted a 40-year-old man trying to smuggle drugs beneath a toupee. The man was set to board a flight to Amsterdam when a scanner flagged something odd near his head. Upon inspection, officers uncovered 7.76 ounces of narcotics hidden in tightly sealed packets under the wig, what authorities dubbed a cocaine toupee. Police released footage showing officers peeling off the hairpiece to reveal the stash. The haul had an estimated European street value of $10,500. The man also had 2 prior drug trafficking convictions on his record. Cartagena Police Commander General Gelver Yesid Peña warned that organized syndicates often trick people into thinking they can easily bypass airport security. This arrest proved otherwise. Colombia's cocaine production has surged in recent years, despite efforts to curb coca cultivation. In 2019, another man was arrested at Barcelona Airport for hiding over a pound of cocaine under a massive wig. Security remains one step ahead. Number 4. Zombie monkey bomb toy. In late 2020, TSA officers raised alarms after identifying a suspicious toy in a traveler's carry-on, a zombie monkey bomb figurine from the Call of Duty video game series. The tiny mechanical toy, modeled after an in-game explosive device, was flagged during X-ray screening due to its shape and internal components. While the toy wasn't dangerous, its resemblance to a weapon raised serious concerns. Toys with wires, batteries, or mechanical parts can be misinterpreted on scans, triggering delays or confiscation. In this case, officers determined the item wasn't a real threat, but still decided it couldn't travel in the cabin. The figurine was either surrendered or rerouted, depending on the traveler's preference. TSA has warned that realistic-looking replicas, even novelty ones, can cause confusion and slow down security processes. This odd case underscored the unusual variety of items people try to bring through airport checkpoints. A zombie monkey bomb might be a fan favorite, but not when it's packed in a carry-on. Number 3. Fish hidden in apron. Way back in June of 2005, customs officials at Melbourne Airport stopped a woman arriving from Singapore after hearing a faint flapping sound near her waist. What they found stunned them. 51 live tropical fish, tucked into water-filled plastic bags sewn into a special apron worn beneath her skirt. Each bag was sealed and carefully arranged to avoid detection. While the method was inventive, it posed significant ecological risks. Foreign fish species can introduce harmful diseases and parasites into local ecosystems if released, either intentionally or accidentally. Australia's strict biosecurity laws require full disclosure and permits for any live animal imports. The woman had no documentation and was promptly detained. All the fish were seized. This case stood out for both its boldness and the sheer number of live animals being smuggled at once. The incident served as a clear example of how bizarre things smugglers can smuggle. Number 2. Bag of moose nuggets. A traveler raised eyebrows at an airport checkpoint when TSA officers discovered a plastic bag filled with actual moose droppings. The unusual find was made during a standard inspection and quickly piqued curiosity. According to the traveler, the moose nuggets were collected as a novelty item, possibly for use as a joke gift or strange souvenir. While animal waste may sound bizarre to carry, it's not entirely unheard of in outdoor communities, where some believe it can be repurposed as compost or natural fertilizer. However, organic materials like this raise big concerns and can fall under restricted items depending on origin and transport method. The moose dung was confiscated, and the traveler was questioned briefly before being allowed to proceed. This case didn't pose a threat, but it stood out as one of the weirder items flagged by TSA. Number 1. Gun in a PlayStation. TSA officers were stunned when they found a loaded firearm hidden inside a PlayStation 2 at a U.S. airport in late 2014. What appeared to be an ordinary piece of checked luggage concealed something far more serious. The gun had been dismantled and carefully stashed inside the plastic shell of the gaming system. It was an obvious attempt to bypass standard security screenings. However, TSA agents are trained to detect hidden stuff and unusual shapes, even within electronics. The weapon was identified during an X-ray scan and immediately confiscated. Carrying a firearm in your carry-on or hiding it inside electronics is not only against TSA rules, but a serious federal offense. The traveler was detained and questioned. This incident highlighted the constant need for alertness and precision during screenings. If you have enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.